Paimon! Did you hear the news? I made it through the selections for Masterful Chefs! Beto, ahoy! Hey, look, who's she with? These three seem to have a great time with each other.
Only thing is you've got 3 dishes here. Chicken fuyang, come and get it, and crystal shrimp, and they all taste kind of refreshing.
Is refreshing really a flavor? That's the exact opposite of Ningguang's tastes. But last time when you were chatting with her, Paimon thought you two seemed to get along just fine. Beat? Oomph? Are we sure these terms apply to cooking? Seems like she's found her muse. Does that mean... I think I know what I need to do. Who is it? Okay, let's take turns shouting his name. Do I need to do this too? Hyman's going first. Ahem. Xiao! Nothing's happening. Let me try again. Xiao! That's weird. Does he not want to hang out with us? Wait, so let me get this straight. Some guy with special powers promised you both that you just need to shout his name and he'll show up? Just one of us. Oh, right. Well, you should be the one to try it then. Paimon clearly just doesn't want to feel left out. Whoa! That's how you know he's an Adeptus. An Adeptus? Xiao, was it? Hi there. It was me who asked the traveler to call you here. My name's Xiangling. I'm a chef.
Customers. And that includes me?
Uh-huh. The traveler says you prefer mild food. Just the kind of person I'm looking for. If you don't mind, I'd like you to try the dishes I've made and tell me your thoughts. Yay!
Tastes pretty good.
Huh? Really?
That chef cooks dishes with soul, as do you. Both of you are masters of your craft. If I had to find fault with something, the 2 sides are a little strong for my taste. Some minor adjustments would take this dish from excellence to perfection. I'll be leaving now. See you next time.
Paimon still can't believe he actually came! So, what would happen if we called his name again now? Do you think he'd come back right away? Only kinda, maybe, not really joking. Jeez. Oh, and the final is in Yujing Terrace. You better come and watch. Will do. Good luck. You bet.
Welcome, everyone, to the Masterful Chef's Final. At the appointment of this organizing committee, I am your host and officiator, Yanfei. This event is brought to you by the Liyue Qixing in collaboration with a number of participating enterprises. The competition is divided into the selections phase and the finals. We saw many contestants from all over Liyue in the selections process, and all of them were outstanding chefs in their own right. Of those, the 2 strongest participants were put through to today's finals. In just a few short moments, the finals will take place right here before your very eyes. Next, please allow me to introduce the judges. There will be a select panel and an audience panel. The 3 members of the select panel are the Tianquan, Lady Ningguang, the Yuheng, Lady Keqing, and last but not least, gourmet connoisseur, Uncle Tian. In addition to these 3, 10 judges will be chosen from among the audience to sample our contestants' dishes and cast their vote. That makes a total of 13 judges with 13 votes between them. Each judge will vote for their preferred finalist, and the one who receives the most votes will be today's winner. And now, please join me in welcoming our 2 contestants into the arena. Come on out!
Yanxiao! Chin up, shoulders back. Everyone from the inn is super proud of you.
And to my right, a stalwart of Liyue Harbor culinary scene, a little feisty with a whole lot of spicy. Give it up for Xiangling! And her mysterious assistant, who knows who?
Hey, everybody. I'll do my best.
Contestants, please repeat after me. As a finalist in Masterful Chefs, I solemnly swear to commit myself fully, compete fairly, and abide by all competition procedures. And I, for my part, promise to uphold the principles of fairness, impartiality, and transparency in my officiation of the proceedings. Now, I will hand things over to the select panel judge, Ningguang, for the announcement of today's theme.
The organizers have chosen the theme for today's event, and that theme is of Earth and Waterborne. The one who receives the most votes wins. Tailor your dishes to the judges' preferences, or win over the audience with your originality. The choice is yours. Well then, I look forward to both of your contributions.
Contestants will have 1 hour of cooking time available and may only use ingredients provided by the organizers in their dishes. I trust this is no problem. Okay, without further ado, let the cooking commence. Begin!
Light it up! Light it up! First things first, get the stove on. Xiao thought the side should be milder, which makes sense to contrast with the main dish. And I guess that's what Xinyan meant. You gotta have on-beats and off-beats. But at the same time, you have to end on a high note. So I think I'll add a little sugar to the crystal shrimp just to bring the flavor up a notch. Triple-layered consomme is pretty bland to begin with, and I can't have two sides with the same texture. Luckily, the organizers have provided some very aromatic broth. It's just a little too gentle. Okay, this is where Beto was right. A pinch of salt should do the trick. Junyun chili chicken is the main event. Can't afford to compromise too much here, but maybe some pepper will set it apart without alienating anybody. Huh? Oh, Yin Xiao. He doesn't look so good.
What am I going to do?
Xiangling's mysterious assistant appears to be aiding her opponent. Judges, are we going to allow this? We knew in advance that Xiangling would be accompanied by a mysterious assistant, and the judges agreed that the two could be classed as one individual for the purposes of the competition. But what do we say to this?
I appreciate everyone's concerns. The presence of a mysterious assistant performing strange dance moves to cheerlead for Xiangling is a little unexpected.
The judges and the officiator accept this explanation. Let the competition continue.
'Cause that's what I do.
I guess I'll think of my mom then. Thank you, Xiangling. And thanks to your, well, thanks. Time for me to get cooking.
We will proceed in the order that the contestants finished. Xiangling, please describe your dish.
My dish is Junyun chili chicken with sides of triple-layered consomme and crystal shrimp.
My dish is Adeptus Temptation with a mint salad and golden shrimp balls. It's a complex dish with very particular ingredients. Smoked ham, crab, fresh shrimp meat, and matsutake. Golden shrimp balls is a time-honored classic loved by everyone. A hearty and wholesome broth, followed up with a shrimp ball. Oh, pure bliss.
Judges, please sample the dishes. Judges of the select panel, I will now ask you to consider your votes carefully before writing them down and handing them to me. Thank you all for waiting. All votes have been received and counted, and the results have been returned to Ningguang.
Xiangling!
Wow! What? How is it so close?
A big thank you to all the audience for being here today, especially those who have come from far and wide. As officiator, I declare the result of this competition to be fair and valid, thus bringing the Masterful Chefs Finals to a close.
Looks like I won this time, Yen Xiao. But I'd still like to try your dishes, if that's okay.
All right, deal.
Traveler,
on. Thanks for coming. Did you get to try the food? I can't believe it. You didn't get picked? Well, never mind. Don't get mad. I'll make some more for you when we get back. You will? Woohoo! Great! Oh, the organizer said that Yenshao and I need to go register our delivery addresses. Apparently, they're gonna deliver an exclusive ingredients package and the prize money at a later date. So I need to get moving. I'll come find you guys after.
How strange. It hasn't changed one bit.
This doesn't make any sense. We cooked our hearts out.
Does this mean the competition wasn't enough to awaken the statue? Yeah, we've waited this long already. There's no harm in waiting a little longer. Right, Xiangling?
Yep, there's still time. Let's be patient. We'll all see this through together. In fact, I'll go find somewhere to make it right now. Wait here.
Oh, right. Paimon knew that. Sheesh, we totally misread that situation. We're back.
I didn't have a chance to fully explain before. In fact, when Master had filled in the missing parts of the recipe for me, I realized that I already knew how to make this dish.
You already knew? You mean you were able to make this without ever seeing the recipe?
Seeing Gouba just reminded me of something. I actually made this dish on the day I first met Gouba.
How did you first meet?
It was in a cave in the mountains. I ducked inside to get out of the rain and saw an offering table in there, so I put the cornbread buns I brought with me on it. Then I ended up falling asleep, and when I woke up, I found out that Gouba had eaten every last one. Gouba followed me around ever since. We're practically family now.
Hold up! Stop the conversation! Look! The stone! It burst open!
It's...
Gouba? What are you... What?
Ah, I see the chili mince cornbread buns have been served.
Master! Granny, look! The stove god statue looks just like Gouba!
Oh, indeed it does. After all, Gouba is the deity you've been searching for. God of the stove.
Gouba is a god?
You asked me if a sufficiently festive atmosphere would be enough to reawaken the stove god. And my answer is this. Yes. And no. The stove god has always been a deity with great affection for the people, and who acts in response to their desires. To him, the heart's passions and the heart's desires are not the same thing. Passion can be a technique, a skill, something derived from experience. But desires, they are deeper, more innate. They are the heart's strength in its purest form. Masterful chefs is wonderfully exciting, but it is more an exercise of passion than of desire. And passion alone will not suffice to reawaken the stove god from his deep slumber. But just now, when Kuching ate this dish she had longed for, a deeply held desire was fulfilled. As well as receiving an answer to a question, she also gained something much more precious. A moment of poignant nostalgia so vivid, it felt like she was right there alongside her grandfather. The enormous power unleashed by the fulfillment of this desire resonated with the stove god's statue, and caused it to manifest once more the form it took in the past. Of course, the stove god himself is not contained within the statue. The true stove god has been here with us all along. How does it feel, seeing a statue of yourself from your glory days? Look at him. Still so majestic.
Glory days? Wait, what happened? Did Gouba used to be different from now?
Oh, yes. Back in his day, your Gouba was once the patron god of the soil. But all the wisdom and power he had then, he has since surrendered to the soil itself.
A god surrendering their power to the soil. I have heard this turn of phrase before, but what does it mean?
The kinds of trials and tribulations that a land can face are far more than you could imagine. Droughts, floods, torrential rain, hurricanes, earthquakes, tsunamis, fires, and plagues. The threat of disaster will never fully disappear from Liyue. Even woes that have never been faced before in history will come to pass in the future. Such things affect you mortals far more than we Adepti, with our immortal forms. He once walked with you over the barren plains until you arrived at last at the harbor. He joined you in building your dwellings and lighting the stoves. It was his hand that lit the very first street lamp of Liyue and brought the aroma of cooked food into every household in the land. You mortals no longer remember him, but back in the age when you did, he was the closest of all the Adepti to the common folk. Marchosius, god of the stove, born from a spark when stone struck stone. He was a god with a great love for humanity and their well-being. Millennia ago, the people sought to expand their city. They built a dwelling on the plains and called it the Gweli Assembly. The stove god cared greatly for the people, turning himself into minions who went into every home, fostering food and solidarity alike. Alas, their home was taken by a flood. The waters ravaged the Gweli Assembly and forced the people back south to Liyue Harbor. Though the distance was not far, the journey was plagued by a terrible storm. For a dozen days, the Adepti stayed by their side. During this time, the stove god cooked an ancient delicacy, flatbread with a meat sauce to stave off the cold and damp, fit for those on the move. Centuries later, disaster and plague arose once more. The stove god would appear no longer, for he placed all of his power into the land itself to quell the calamities. His power expended, and his wits greatly reduced. Thus his body decreased in size. By the time he parted ways with us, he wasn't even the height of a human. He told Rex Lapis and I of the dishes that bring joy and of the secrets of the flame, then went into the mountains and entered into a long slumber. The stove god departed, and Gouba was born. When he awoke, he ate the chiliman's cornbread buns placed on the offering table by a young lady in yellow. Though he did not remember the past, he was profoundly moved and decided to follow this young lady thereafter. The stove god had quietly disappeared, but the vendors rose early to hawk their wares. People went out to buy goods, lit their stoves, and cooked food, just as they had done every day for as long as they could remember. In Liyue, things have always been this way. Nature provides, the mountains rejoice. We are blessed by heaven's good grace.
Years have gone by. The world has transformed, but our way of life survives.
Fame and fortune is only a season. It is the moment that we should embrace.
Past meets present. Heritage becomes legacy. Long into the future may we thrive.
told me that dining is the profoundest of customs in the human world. To eat well is to consume vitality itself, and to drink well is to partake of the very essence of the world. It is a matter of paramount importance, you said, for people cannot face the arduous journey ahead on an empty stomach. At once a humble affair and a profound one. A humble meal of maize and spring water is also profound in that. By ensuring one's survival, it paves the way for millennia of human history and culture to come. My dear friend, Liyue has changed so much while you have slept. Looking at the prosperity and beauty around us today, does it make you happy?
Gouba, this is kind of a huge deal. Why didn't you say anything?
He is not who he once was. Even the power of speech evades him now. There is no way he could have told you.
Oh.
Gouba, but...
Xiangling.
Do not be saddened, Xiangling. There are two sides to everything. Gouba may have lost many of his formal faculties, but he is now as carefree as can be, without a single worry in the whole world. In this world we inhabit, who can truly be said to live a life free of all woes? Those with a mind and with the knowledge will certainly be troubled by all manner of things. But he has gone further than us in his journey. He had both wisdom and courage. Everything he took upon himself, he was also ready to part with. His carefree demeanor today is a testament to the fact that he is at rest. So since you are his friend, take good care of him. Go out to walk and play. Allow him to eat, drink, and be merry.
I will! You can count on me!
Xiangling, you have an adeptal affinity. Gouba follows you around because he has respect for you. The moment he awoke, he was met with the familiar flavor in the chili mince cornbread buns he ate. After all that time, he still recognized the dish he had invented, and he approved of you as the one who had cooked it.
That's right. The taste of one's home cuisine always brings back memories of home. Though he remembered nothing, eating the food you had cooked gave him a feeling of familiarity. That is why he stuck by you.
You may be the first person in history to give the stove god the experience of being a satisfied customer. That makes you quite a remarkable chef.
If that's true, I couldn't be happier. Because putting a smile on customers' faces is what we chefs are called to do.
Well then, it's getting late and I still have things to do. Time for me to say goodbye. Traveler, Paimon, Xiangling, thank you all very much. I look forward to spending more time together in the future.
I guess my dad's probably heard the good news already, but I should still go catch up with him. Master, it's been a while since you came by. Why don't you join me? He thinks about you all the time, you know. He's always telling me to invite you over.
Oh, goodness me. Then, far be it from me to refuse. Off we go, then. Let's saunter over gently and see how all the city folk are getting along.
Hi, Dad. I'm back. Hey, what are you doing there? I should be the one handling that.
Oh no! Gouba's taken off!
Oh, it's you. Hello there, old friend.
Oh, bless my soul. Are you out for a stroll as well?
Given the season, it felt fitting to take a leisurely walk while the meal is being prepared.
Quite right. And it also gave us the chance to run into you. Gouba may not recognize you, but as ever, he seems quite delighted to see you.
So, Gouba doesn't remember anything, but can still feel when something's familiar?
Friendship will always withstand the ravages of time. Traveler, what do you think of the name of this festival? Moon Chase. The moon is a carrier of countless emotions. So many things only seem to surface as we gaze up beneath its poignant glow. Wherever the moonlight shines, the heart is wont to follow. Fond memories of those no longer with us. Debts of gratitude to old friends. The meaning of ages past and gone. All wrapped up in the city that has existed for so many moons to date. All these things and more. They are why people chase the moon.
In old age, the sight of many things puts one in a wistful mood. But children are always a beautiful sight to see. Such exuberant life force. It seems to well up from deep within the land itself. A land that has been in existence for so many millennia, and yet one that still dazzles today. Traveler, this Moon Chase Festival has been all the more entertaining with you here to witness it. Now, let's have Xiangling brew us a nice pot of tea. We shall drink and chat at our leisure.